is always a hope. Rise and fight.
Welcome to another BSL 14 GosuLeague cast. Today we have the semi-finals for you, and of course the stream is hosted by the wonderful Zero. My name is Master Ray, and together with me here is Snipe. Welcome, Snipe.
Thank you. Happy to be here and excited for a great match. We have a couple of great matches here. I mean, this is the best of GosuLeague this season, right? We got the final four. We're going to find out which two players move on into our finals later on this week. So I'm excited for these matches.
Yes, and of course, even the players who lose today will be seen next week on the third place match. So we'll see all the players today another time. And also, we have 3 Protoss here today and 1 Terran. So the first time Terran is not the first race to get eliminated here.
Yeah, another thing I'm noticing here is not a lot of Zerg, right? We have no Zerg in the final four, and the last couple seasons of GosuLeague have really been kind of dominated by Zerg. So nice to see maybe a little bit different races here in the finals.
Yeah, and of course, everyone's favorite matchup is present, Protoss versus Protoss. I know you guys love to see that, and we are happy to present it here.
Yeah, definitely. No, this first match should be good. I mean, we have NbA versus Dsaqwe, both very strong. I mean, both players last round won their match 3-0, right? Now, NbA did have a PvP, so that might give Dsaqwe a little bit of an advantage in seeing, okay, what can he do, or what does NbA, how does he like to play, right? And here we have the stats up for NbA. Like, we can see very high MMR there, 2239. He was playing in ProLeague, I believe, as well, so very strong player indeed. And we also have Dsaqwe here. I mean, he's got a lot of experience, 2230 MMR, so very close here. I think we're looking in for a great match, and I could see this going either way. How about you?
Yeah, for sure. Both players here are incredibly strong. We can see that Dsaqwe has finished round of 16 so far in GosuLeague. That was his highest placement. While, as you mentioned, NbA was already playing in ProLeague before, so achievement-wise in the BSL, NbA should be the favorite, but yeah, both players defeated their previous opponents 3-0, and they're both just super strong, and we'll see an awesome close match, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely don't think we'll get a 3-0 here. I'm hoping this goes all 5 games. Either player could take it down, though. I'm looking forward to a very exciting match here.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, we can go into the first match, and that will be on Good Night here. I mean, Good Night should be a map that you guys all know. It's a ladder map for a long time. We see the stats here on screen. Of course, we have a PvP, so that doesn't really matter. Yeah, is there anything left to say, Snipe?
No, I think we're ready to jump in into game number 1 here, so let's get it going.
Okay, and here we are on Good Night. In the bottom right, we have our teal Protoss spawning. It is NbA.
All right, then here in the bottom left, we have our red Protoss. It is Dsaqwe. Looks like a little bit of chat there. Just hoping the lag is good. Talk about maybe switching the lag. I guess they didn't because this is the game they played, right? So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't play too much of a factor for these players and they can put out some good games for us.
Yeah, it's something you might have to take into consideration when you play an important tournament match like this. If there is some kind of latency because your opponent is very far away, not on the same continent as you are, maybe it makes sense to play some strategies that are not super micro-intensive. Like, for example, I wouldn't go like speed shuttle Reaver harass if there's a high latency. It's so dangerous that my shuttle gets picked off.
Yeah, very good point. We'll see if that comes into play here now. I remember we saw NbA do a couple of 2 gates. We'll see if he wants to open with one of those here. It looks like he's not going to do that, actually. Looks like he wants to go for a Nexus first. So we'll see when Dsaqwe scouts this. Looks like it's probably going to be end up being a last scout. So maybe a little bit of an advantage here for NbA. Going to have that early Nexus, and it's going to be scouted almost as late as possible here.
Yeah, but... Yeah, that's definitely true. But he is going for 2 gates, so second gate coming up for Dsaqwe. So if he continuously produces zealots here, he can maybe still go for an attack and do some damage. We'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely see. Now I want to see what NbA's follow-up is going to be here, right? Like, you can definitely hold a in-base 2 gate with a 12 next. If you go like 2 gate yourself, something kind of match the production. We'll see. Looks like he wants to do maybe just the 1 gate variation into gas. And if he does that, like, Dsaqwe is definitely going to have a chance here to do something. Okay, he is going to come back out and throw down that second gateway, it looks like. So we'll see. This is going to come down to a little bit of a micro battle here.
Yeah, but the decision to get a second gate and not go for the gas, it should make it very possible for NbA to defend any early aggression here. Sure, it's a little bit of a micro battle, but the time that Dsaqwe needs to go across the map, that time, I think the zealots for NbA will be out.
Yeah, well, you can see that first gateway's finished up. Dsaqwe still hasn't even scouted this. I'm sure he'll start sending the zealots even before he scouts this, because he is going for the 2 gate. And yeah, you can see zealots moving out on the map here now. He is going to get in and see this Nexus. We'll see how this goes. Both gateways now done for NbA. Looks like he's going to probably only have 1 zealot by the time these get here. So he's going to have to be a little bit careful. And oh, the probe missing the zealots coming across. So NbA still doesn't know quite what he's up against.
That is true, but I'm sure he has his 2nd and 3rd zealot in production right now. So if he's careful and pulls the probes away, and the zealot that is going towards the 2 zealots, I think he can delay a little bit until the next 2 zealots are out. Here they come. So we have, okay, 2 zealots against 3. Oh, the shield battery is getting focused very quickly. Where is the 3rd zealot of NbA? And I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, maybe it was delayed there a little bit. Looked like his timing was a little off on that, perhaps, but just running around, he's just trying to buy time for his other zealots to come out. Now that the battery's done, his 3rd zealot's here, he should be fine. We'll see. Still, Dsaqwe is trying to put on a little bit of pressure. Maybe see if he can't pick off a couple of probes here and just slow down NbA, because he knows he's going to be behind here. Like, NbA's economy is just in such a great position if he holds this, right?
Yes, Dsaqwe was able to pick off 2 probes so far, maybe gets the 3rd one. No, doesn't look like that's the case. And so far, the probe difference is still not there for NbA, so Dsaqwe still ahead 1 probe even. Of course, NbA has 2 mineral lines, so he has a higher income, but I think NbA also cut some probes here.
Yeah, looks like another one going down, but this rush should end here. Will he be able to pick off another probe? Oh, Zealot gets glitched to the minerals. Doesn't look like he's going to get another probe there. Now with 2 Nexus, of course, NbA will be able to catch up quite quickly in that probe count. Even sending some of his own zealots across to put some pressure here on Dsaqwe. Oh, he catches the Dragoon in that little... No, that's not what you want to see. A bit unfortunate there for Dsaqwe, but nice play from NbA picking off an early Dragoon there.
Yeah, man, that's unfortunate for Dsaqwe. But he's still ahead 2 probes. Okay, let's watch this action first. Okay, NbA is picking off 2 probes here. And now NbA is way ahead. Another probe goes down. We have a true probe advantage for NbA now.
Yeah. So DT has been scouted here from NbA now. He already has cannons. Dsaqwe knows he has cannons. But look at this. Dsaqwe's building 2 gateways in the main base of NbA. Like, wow. I don't know if he's going to have a cannon up in time, right? Like, you're going to be suspecting maybe DT drop at some point, but he sees no robo, right? So he's not expecting any kind of DT in his main base here anytime soon because he has no scouting of this. Doesn't look like he realized the probe was hiding in there, so this could be really deadly. I mean, this is probably going to kill him if NbA doesn't scout it. At least kill out a lot of the main base here.
Yeah, and you can see he even adds the 3rd cannon in the front, so really expecting a complete 1 base all-in DT attack from the front. but the DTs are just coming inside of his main base, and he has nothing there to detect the DTs.
Yeah, I think this is probably just going to kill him now. Dsaqwe is going to go ahead, throw down his Nexus. Of course, he feels safe to do so because the build NbA went for. He's not going to have any mobile detection here for a little bit. Now, he is getting a cannon. Oh, he is getting a cannon in the main. He does scout these gateways, but is it going to be too late? These DTs are just about finished here. Can they get into that mineral line on top of that cannon? They might just end up fighting the Dragoons here to save that pylon, which could give time for that cannon to get up.
Yeah, where's the probe pool? He needs to surround this cannon at the bottom. This cannon needs to finish. We need to see a probe surround. Oh my god, the DT gets to the cannon.
There is some blocking. Oh, look at the glitching. Will he get it? Will he get it? Oh, he kills the cannon. Oh, that was so close. Both DTs still alive. Now he's going to be able to wreak havoc here in NbA's base. That was so close now. NbA did kill the pylon, so no more DTs are going to be getting in here. But it's going to be a while before he can get observers out. Like, he's going to lose a lot of his main base here.
Yeah, he definitely will, and I don't know, it's just so hard. Also remember that in the main base here on Good Night we have 9 mineral blocks, and the natural will only have 7. So you could say like NbA still has 1 base mining, it's fine, but it's just 7 blocks, so it's a little bit less income. And now Dsaqwe is also finishing the second base, so yeah, NbA really in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, we can see him going across the map now to try and get some damage done, but there's no way he's going to be able to get enough done here. Already 2 DTs, some Zealots here. A couple more units coming in for NbA, trying to trade out some units to see what he can get done, but he's not going to be able to get any damage done, at least not compared to what Dsaqwe is doing in his main base.
Yeah, he's losing his units now. He's trying to kill off some units of Dsaqwe. Maybe he thinks that he can go for like a big attack once his own observer's out, which is the case soon. But I mean, he's losing his own units. I'm just not convinced it's gonna work.
Yeah, well, a first observer is about to come out, but he doesn't really have a lot of units left now, right? Oh, and Dsaqwe is going to scout this base being taken here at 6 o'clock. I would not be surprised to see even NbA just GG here, right? Like, it's just going to be so hard to come back from this. Yes, he's got the observer out and he's going to be able to clean out these DTs, but he's just so far behind now. I mean, Dsaqwe is mining on 2 bases. He's kind of countered everything and got a ton of damage done. So you can even see it in the worker count. Like, Dsaqwe's ahead 10, 11 workers here on 2 base.
Yeah, I have no idea how NbA can come back here. He's trying to rebuild his Nexus now, but just the fact that he has no gateways even. He doesn't even have a chance to go for like a counterattack with Observer now, because he only has 4 goons, and there are more than 4 units for Dsaqwe, or at least cannons for Dsaqwe. So Dsaqwe totally safe here.
Yeah, you can see how serious he takes this. He realizes the position he's in, right? He knows I'm ahead. All I have to do is really kind of live any kind of counter pressure. So you can see he's just going to throw down a bunch of cannons, right? He's like, as long as I don't die in the next minute here, my economy's just going to be so much better. My tech's going to be better. Everything's just going to be so much better. I'm going to be able to overrun NbA here. So he's feeling like he's in a great spot.
Yeah, and okay, so we see here we have a Reaver tech. At the very bottom we see the support bay for NbA, so maybe that's his plan. Like, maybe he can get in, kill a lot of probes, and then get back into the game. But yeah, okay, he doesn't even try, he just GG's out.
Yeah, GG is called, so Dsaqwe takes game number 1. Nice play there. It did look like NbA had that advantage early on, but that sneaky little in-base proxy and DT rush really did a number on NbA and gave Dsaqwe the win there.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate that NbA didn't block that one cannon that was finishing at the bottom earlier with the probes. He really let the DT get to the cannon pretty much unhindered. He tried to draw a probe drill afterwards, but man, I think maybe he could have blocked off the cannon because he saw the DT spawning from the gateways.
Yeah, very true. I just noticed some chat about the Spanish cast. You did mention that he had an emergency, so he would be casting a little bit later. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, I think he mentioned it's in the BSL. Okay. Yeah, I think he said he had broadcast at around 1 CEST, or tried to. So Just thought I would throw that out there for anyone asking about the Spanish cast there.
Yeah, that should be in 5 hours from now.
Alright, perfect. So yeah, I mean, we got the 1-0 lead for Dsaqwe. Now, this is going to be a pretty crucial game for NbA here. Game number 2, right? If he can't take this, like if Dsaqwe gets a 2-0 lead, it's going to be tough for him to kind of come back. We'll see if he can do it here in game number 2.
Yeah, let's find out.
Maybe. So the map is going to be Eclipse, I believe. Definitely some unique things you can do here, right? 2-player map. Lots of different proxy locations. We did see NbA go for like an in-base 2-gate on this map, and that's kind of a common strategy here in PvP, just because of all the different proxy locations, people just not wanting to deal with it, might open up 2 gates. So we'll see if either player wants to do that, but we're ready to jump into second game now, so let's do it.
Okay, and here we are with NbA spawning the top right of Eclipse.
All right, and in the bottom left, up 1 game here, it is Dsaqwe.
Yeah, so we saw NbA going for that 12 Nexus in the last game. A strategy like that is not really possible, or at least you need way bigger balls for that on a 2-player map. Because of course you will get scouted much earlier. There's not a chance that your opponent last scouts you like on a 4-player map.
Yeah, true enough. Now NbA did go for 2-gate here, so we'll see if he does it again. Dsaqwe's pylon position is a bit interesting to me. I guess he's just going to build his gateways next to the Nexus there. Probably fine, or gas, whichever. We'll see what he wants to do, if he's going to go for a 2-gate himself, or if he's going to add that gas and say, I don't think you're going to proxy me and just going to be way fine. You actually see him scouting his base there a little bit for the proxy as well. So seeing there's no in-base gateways or at his natural, he's probably feeling okay. His build's fine.
Yeah, it's very important to scout your own main base on Eclipse. Let's see if NbA is doing it as well. Of course, he is not scouting it all right now, so he will probably, yeah, get the gas. Okay, second gateway, and now he's actually scouting it. We see it in the top right there. He's scouting his main base. He makes sure there's no proxy, and now he leaves his base to scout. And also Dsaqwe scouting the bottom path for a possible proxy. So
yeah,
both players really taking it seriously here.
Now NbA would have seen that probe like coming from a different angle. We'll see if he wants to check or scout over there. Maybe it might make him think that there's a proxy 2-gate or something over there. But that probe's probably late enough that he would have seen it sooner. Now he is going to get in here, scout the 2-gate from Dsaqwe's side, where NbA is going to come over and scout just 1 gate here. And I think we'll probably just see him like end up, you know, tacking up a little bit quicker maybe, just because he's going to have that early gas.
Yeah, and NbA as a 2-gate player, he doesn't really need to scout for like every possible proxy. I mean, he scouted his own main base, which you should do. But if you're 2-gate yourself, you're safe against any proxy outside of your base usually. So if you just go to the main on a 2-player map, you will get the information early enough.
Yeah, interestingly enough, on Dsaqwe's side, we actually saw him make two zealots here before his core. Not something you see all that often, but against 2-gate, definitely something that you can do. It just gets you enough zealots to kind of be on par with the 2-gate player and have those zealots to defend, right? You can go ZZ core Z. But in this case, we can see NbA isn't even making any extra zealots or sending them across. He's like, okay, I expect my opponent, he's going to be able to defend. I'm just going 2-gate in case he's going 2-gate back at me or proxy 2-gate. So both players are going to be kind of similar positions here. NbA is going to have that little extra gateway, whereas Dsaqwe is just going to have a little bit quicker tech.
Yeah, and this quick attack, we see it here on screen. We have the Citadel of Adun for Dsaqwe. So another game, he's going for the DTs. Last game he had some gateways inside of the main base of his opponent. This time this is not the case. So will this work?
Yeah, we'll have to see. NbA is going to have to throw down that Robo really quickly here. I think he's about to throw it down. As long as it starts before his Templar Archives, he should be able to get observers out in time. And yeah, it is down just before that Templar Archive, so it will be close, but as long as NbA is on top of producing his Observatory and his observers, he should not die to the DTs or take any real damage here.
Yeah, and the robotics is going up, so should be no problem. I mean, there is a build where you go, for example, for a shuttle first to get an earlier Reaver drop. You can even go for Reaver after the shuttle, but that's really risky. Most of the Reaver openings involve like a shuttle, then observer, and then a Reaver. But I don't think we'll see that here. Usually if you go for a 2-gate opening, it's pretty common to go observers afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of a scuffle back and forth here. Dragoon chasing Dragoons back. Now we got 3 Zealots and a Dragoon. This may tip NbA off that this is a little bit more tech heavy, seeing this many Zealots, right? He doesn't know that he built these Zealots before the core, or a couple Zealots here before the core. So we'll see. Now he is going to push him back. Robo should be done by now, and Observatory at least on the way. DTs also should be on the way now. Looks like 1 DT, so Dsaqwe is going to go DT into an expand here, but by the time the DT gets across the map, NbA should have observers. Now he is moving down the ramp. There are a couple Dragoons in the back here coming for a little bit of a flank, trying to catch some of Dsaqwe's units. I don't know if Dsaqwe should be taking this fight. There's a lot more units here for NbA, so nice little trade here for NbA, getting a couple of free Zealot kills there.
Yeah, and this means that a counter-attack is more possible for NbA now, because Dsaqwe has almost no units to buffer for his cannons, and if NbA gets like 2 more rounds of goons, he can surely counter-attack. But okay, we see it here on screen, it doesn't look like he wants to commit to a counter-attack, he goes for an expansion himself.
Yeah, still it's an okay way to play it, but now Dsaqwe is going to have that little bit of an economic advantage having that faster nexus. You can see he's taking a counterattack very seriously, throwing up a bunch of cannons. I would like to see, okay, Storm now just started, and High Templar, I think you'd like to see that a little bit quicker, just so he has Storms ready for the possible counterattack. But now we do have NbA moving across the map here. Looks like Dragoon range isn't quite done yet. Okay, just finishing up now actually for NbA, so that's what you want to see. Using the Dragoons in range to try and pick off cannons or force more defenses here out of Dsaqwe. Just force him to spend that extra money that he's going to get from his faster nexus.
Exactly, that's a very good point here. Usually some people think, okay, earlier nexus means better economy, but if you have to spend your minerals that you get with your better economy early on to build like 6 cannons, then you're actually behind in minerals. So yeah, we can see he's even building a 5th cannon now, and NbA also got a pretty fast nexus, so it's not like NbA is even super hard committing into an attack, and he's still forcing so many cannons.
Yeah, well, we can see a couple in the mineral lines too, because Dsaqwe's observer tech is going to be so late here that he could be weak to something like a DT drop follow-up, right? Now, he is going to have these cannons in plenty of time. We know NbA didn't go for that kind of quick DT drop follow-up. But for now, players just scouting around. We do have a couple DTs on the map from Dsaqwe, making sure like NbA isn't trying to take some kind of hidden nexus there in the bottom right or something, just because he doesn't want him to get away with that. Like, he knows he's a little bit ahead economically. He doesn't want NbA to kind of get that back by having a hidden base.
Yeah, I just noticed the probe count, so I've looked at the probe count like for the last minute, and NbA did cut a lot of probes at 39, so now Dsaqwe is actually ahead like 5 to 7 workers. Oh, here's the DT coming in, killing 1, killing 2, and maybe a 3rd one, no. Okay, so no overall with the little probe cuts there by NbA and the CT killing some probes. Now we have a pretty substantial advantage in the economy for Dsaqwe.
Yeah, we'll see if he can steer that home, but still plenty of play left here. I mean, we can see supply-wise, NbA is ahead here, so his army is going to be definitely quite a bit bigger, and he is going for that 3rd base, looks like, for very soon. Got a probe up there anyways, a couple of units positioned with an observer, so the DT can't sneak in there, maybe deny it. So he will probably get that 3rd base up and running here a little bit quicker, try and catch up. But meanwhile, on Dsaqwe's side, Robo just finishing up now. NbA sees this, so he knows Okay, there's no observers out quite yet, so should feel comfortable in his position here.
Yes. The next step in such a kind of game here is usually that the DT player, who has earlier Storm, of course, he has Storm finished by now, will go for like a Storm drop. That's very common. But we actually also have a Storm drop here for NbA. So I have a feeling like one of these Storm drops that will be coming for both players will do a lot of damage and maybe decide the game.
Yeah, well, we saw a lot of good, exciting Storm drops last time, right? So, like last week in the PvPs in the round of 8, so maybe some more now. Dsaqwe is pushing out here a little bit. Yeah, gotta be a little careful. Don't want to lose that. DT just kind of hanging out in front of the base there. Now, is Dsaqwe going to go for a base down here in the bottom corner? And is the shuttle going to fly over and see this? Just as he starts to take it. Oh, no!
Oh, changes direction in the last second. Wow.
No, okay, he's just going to miss that pylon. But unfortunately, he actually has a probe in there too. I don't know what that's about now. Are the shuttles going to see each other? Okay, the shuttles do see each other, so this should give him advanced warning. We'll see if he noticed and he pulls the probes or reacts in time. Okay, Dragoons are moving back. Yeah, probes being pulled, so he definitely saw that. So very nice reaction there from Dsaqwe. Not going to take any damage here really from the shuttle of NbA.
Yeah, and if NbA didn't see the shuttle with his own shuttle, he probably saw it now with his own DT. Yeah, you can see the probes are also pulled. So both Storm drops completely useless here because both players scouted it ahead of time.
Oh, look at this. Dark Archon being morphed. Definitely something you'll see in PvPs when there's High Templar on the field. I mean, it's very good for that feedback. Kill those High Templars before they can get Storm off. We'll have to take a look for that. But yeah, as we can say, both of those shuttles got repelled, so not a lot of damage. Now, NbA is getting his third here up. So that little bit of economic advantage that Dsaqwe had could start to swing in NbA's favor here in a little bit.
Yes, and if you're really brave, you can also leave a Dark Archon as drop defense and just don't pull your probes when the shuttle with Storm is coming in and just feedback the High Templars when they unload immediately. But it's very risky, of course.
Do you think he could get mind control the shuttle as it comes in? That'd be kind of crazy if we saw something like that. I don't know if I've seen that, but you know, that'd be awesome. Now, yeah, okay, so Dsaqwe's kind of getting a hidden base down here. We'll see if or when NbA ever notices that. Like, NbA may think he's getting into a position where he's playing 3 base against 2 base, and he may overestimate his position if he never finds that. But now, we do have Dsaqwe kind of moving out on the map, but here comes NbA as well. Can he get to the high ground before? Okay, Dsaqwe will get up onto the high ground. He is going to fall back, seeing the army here from NbA. One Storm goes down, but it looks like it hit more of NbA's units there. So, yeah, looks like both players not wanting to fully commit to the engage there is going to back out. I do think NbA's army is a little bit stronger, so Dsaqwe doesn't really want to take that fight.
Yeah, we also saw a feedback there. Dark Archon killed the second High Templar. So that was very nice. And yeah, you mentioned the army is a little bit stronger for NbA. That's certainly true, especially with some units getting killed here from the Dsaqwe. So supply is one number that you can look at in PvP. But another thing that is very important if you talk about army strength is the pure like value of the army. An army can be the same supply, but if the one army has a lot more like Archons, High Templars, like gas units, it is still stronger than a same supply army of just Zealots and Goods, for example.
Yeah. Another thing that can try to change the tide sometimes is the upgrades, and we noticed here that Dsaqwe does have that upgrade advantage, right? He's got the +2, +1, where NbA is still only on 1-0 here. I don't know. Okay, Forge is upgrading. He's about to have +1 armor, but +2 attack is still a little ways off, so that could maybe help Dsaqwe here, because the army for NbA just looks way bigger for Dsaqwe. It feels like a lot of his units aren't together here at the moment.
Yeah, and that can be dangerous when NbA moves across the map. If we talk about vision, I don't see any like observers around NbA side. Oh, we have a Storm drop attempt.
Oh my. Okay.
I think like 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah, maybe not as much as Dsaqwe was hoping for, but now he sees maybe some weakness here. He is going to move into the natural, but is this going to be a mistake? He's going to get his army trapped in here now, right? The reinforcements coming down from NbA and the army coming in from the back. This does feel like it could be an overextension or mistake here, but we'll see what Dsaqwe can get done. Can he kill off enough probes? Can he kill the Nexus? I don't think so here. Maybe that Archon can kill a bunch of probes to kind of make this worth it, but he's losing a ton of army here.
I almost feel like I have a deja vu here. We saw the exact same situation last week with one Protoss on Eclipse on the same position, like attacking the natural, not getting up the ramp, not killing the Nexus in the natural, and then, yeah, losing the game because he doesn't have any army left.
Yeah, well, now NbA's army is quite a bit larger. You can see the 40 supply difference and the same number of workers, so that's all army here for NbA. Let's see if he can get anything done or if he wants to try and pressure anywhere with this. Of course, as we can see, I mean, Dsaqwe has set up these two bottom right bases, so if NbA doesn't try and like take out a base or get some kind of advantage from his army advantage here, eventually Dsaqwe is just going to be able to catch right back up into this game.
Yeah, NbA has the army advantage now, and he should know it, and he should use it. That's very important now. If he doesn't use it, then he'll get behind. Oh, wow! Whoa. Okay, I guess he doesn't need to use his army advantage anymore, because now he also has an economy advantage.
I feel like that was at least 17 probes. I mean, he's at 45 probes. We know he was at like 62 before, so... yeah, that was a lot of probe kills. Nice storm drop there from NbA. That's going to help for sure. But of course, Dsaqwe still has 4 Nexuses, 4 bases about to be mining here, so we'll see. But can he live much longer? NbA now thinks is the time to attack here, and I don't see enough here for Dsaqwe. Where is his army? Okay, it's moving back from kind of that 4th base location, but will this be enough?
I think the army quality of NbA is also very big. If he just attacks into this and storms the flank from the top, I think he could take the fight, but he's not sure about this. He just doesn't know, and he's playing it safe, and he actually goes back, and now he tries to catch the army of Dsaqwe at the top.
Yeah, it feels like he doesn't want to make that mistake that Dsaqwe made and attack into the natural and lose the whole army, right? But the longer this goes on, the more time he gives Dsaqwe. These 4 bases that he has are going to give him that advantage. Okay, now is the time. He is pushing in here. We'll see what he can get done. Now he knows the army is well out of position for Dsaqwe, right? He knows that army is attacking his new base, so there's not going to be a ton of stuff for Dsaqwe. Can NbA get the kill here? Can he at least kill off the natural? Nice Dragoon placement on top of the ramp, but there's still just so much more here for NbA. Now the army is coming in from behind from Dsaqwe. Will it be enough?
I think Dsaqwe will defend this. There were a lot of cannons and a lot of goons on the high ground, so not the best trade here for NbA.
Yeah, now despite that fight, like not quite killing off the Nexus here, NbA still has more units. Now he does actually scout one of these kind of bottom right bases, so sends a group of Zealots. Look, can he kill this off? That's going to be a really important part of this game. If he's able to kill this base off, he's going to be feeling a lot better. It looks like he's going to send even another group of Zealots probably running down from his natural, and that should be enough to get the kill, but in saying that, Dsaqwe does have a group of units going towards the top here now, seeing if he can't kill a base of the NbA for himself.
Yeah, man, both players just taking damage, losing expansions here. NbA will lose that 11 o'clock again. Oh, okay, 4 Archons coming from the side, I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah, maybe he can hold this up and trying to micro that back, but does lose that first Archon, and a couple of Zealots coming in here now. With the reinforcements, I think NbA is actually going to be able to hold this position, and this is going to be very crucial for him here. He's going to kill off the army. We can see the supply is definitely in favor here of NbA. Storm going down, so he will protect his base while killing one of Dsaqwe's base. I mean, after the dust is kind of settled here, you got to really favor NbA's position in this game.
Yes, now he took his 4th base, he defended his 4th base, and he also scouted and killed the 4th base of Dsaqwe. So we talked about Dsaqwe has these 2 hidden expansions in the bottom right, but now the situation is completely different. Like, NbA is not only ahead in the army size, but he's also way ahead in the economy now, and I don't see any way Dsaqwe can come back here.
Yeah, NbA has caught up a little bit in those upgrades as well, being 2-2 against 3-2. A little bit of an army coming from Dsaqwe wanting to stop this. Oh, will he be able to pick off this shuttle here with 3 High Templars? That'd be a nice pickup. He does get it. He also has an Arbiter out here, and now NbA will see this. Does know that there is an Arb out. I don't know if he has any counter Arbs himself yet. Of course, he does have those Dark Archons, so he could always get Mind Control to steal the Arbiters. We'll have to see if that's an option. We're actually going for shuttle speed here. Very late shuttle speed, but wants it for some harass now. Does have enough energy. I don't know if he actually got Mind Control at some point, but it's definitely a way you can play. Like, if you're going to have Dark Archons anyway, you can certainly get Mind Control when the opponent has those Arbiters and just steal them from them, right? So we'll see if that comes out and this here comes into play here.
Yeah, it's not a real common situation that you see Dark Archons and Arbiters in a game, but if that's the case, Mind Control can really be a useful upgrade. But even if he doesn't have it, he will surely just feedback the Arbiter.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll see now. Army's kind of missing each other. Dsaqwe's army going towards that 4th base of NbA. A few cannons here, but will he be able to get back in time to save it? He is bringing some army from like 3 different directions here, so this army of Dsaqwe is going to get trapped up here. Even if he kills this base off, it feels like this army is going to go down, and losing this whole army, it does feel like NbA is probably going to be able to just straight up counter and win the game, right?
Some questionable stasis here. I'm not sure if that stasis will save his units here. Barely not, I guess. Yeah, and it's a really unfortunate attack here by Dsaqwe. I kind of wanted him to focus the Nexus at least, but now he lost all his units. Yeah, he killed some probes, but in reality, NbA is still ahead in probes, and he still has that Nexus now. And this didn't really get Dsaqwe any kind of advantage in this game.
Yeah, even taking another Nexus, we can see NbA roaming around, assuming there would be a Nexus on the left at that 4th base, but there isn't even one at the 3rd. He might even duck up there to see and be like, why is there no Nexus here, right? Maybe he is thinking there's a Nexus there, and that's why he's playing this a little bit more carefully. But we can see, like, supply-wise, he's ahead 90 supply, right? Like, he's just kind of roaming around, picking off units, but he could just end this game anytime he really wants to, right?
Yeah. Trying to chase the army of Dsaqwe around here, now changing his mind again and going towards the natural once again. And I don't think this time Dsaqwe can defend this. I mean, last time he lost a lot in the natural, but at least he was able to defend his main. I don't think that's possible this time.
Well, here we go. Bunch of Zealots. A little attack trying to come in here from Dsaqwe, but more than enough there for NbA to defend it. And just not enough here from Dsaqwe to defend. So with the units flowing in here, it's going to kill off the natural, going to get into the main, start killing units, popping out, killing the production here. I think this is it. Dsaqwe is just going to have to tap out, right? This is going to be a 1-1 series.
Yes. Dsaqwe trying to come back, but even this half of the army of NbA with the Archons there will be enough to hold off the reinforcements of Dsaqwe.
GG is called. We did see a last-minute feedback on that Arbiter there. Didn't quite get it, but nice little play. So nice game from NbA. I mean, he takes it, ties it up, and that was a really important game for him. You do not want to fall down 2-0 in a best-of-5 here. So yeah, 1-1. Still anyone's game here.
Yeah, and I actually looked it up last week. We had the quarterfinals, NbA versus Dark, on Eclipse, same positions, NbA as the same player, and Dark did this attack into the natural, and NbA defended it and won the game. It was almost the same year. It's crazy.
Yeah, a little bit of deja vu, like you were saying, but yeah, I think we're about ready to jump into the next game. Not sure what map we got just yet. I'm sure we'll see here in a second. Yeah, looks like Ascension. Okay, bit of a different map. It can play differently. I mean, this is the low ground natural type map, which can make some of the rock, paper, scissory aspects of PvP a little bit stronger. So we might see someone go for something like a more aggressive, like a 3-gate or something here to try and take advantage of this fact. But we'll have to see what the players want to go for. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, it's a lot of more common to see like 2-gate rushes with Zealots, or also just like 3-gate goon attacks. It's very common here because there is no high ground main base. So let's see. Yeah, let's get into this game. Okay, and here on Ascension, as the blue brawlers in the bottom left corner, we have Dsaqwe.
Alright, and in the bottom right, in the red, we have NbA. Yeah, now, we have seen, like we said before, some 2-gates come out from NbA on these types of maps. I would not be surprised to actually see him go for a 2-gate here, even if he doesn't want to use it to put on pressure, but just use it in case there's some kind of a proxy or 2-gate from his opponent. Definitely seen him do that a few times. Dsaqwe, I think he could do anything, right? He seemed comfortable just going for 1-gate tech last game there on Eclipse, so maybe we'll see something like that again from him. He has con TTs 2 games in a row. Will he do it a third?
Yeah, that's a big question here. By the way, guys, to all the viewers out there, who do you favor? Let's put some thoughts in the chat here. Do you favor NbA or do you favor Dsaqwe after these first 2 games?
Yeah, let's see it. I think it's pretty close. I mean, both players look good. See what the chat thinks. But here we go now. 1 gateway and scout here from Dsaqwe, so I do think he'll probably go for that gas follow-up. Scouting after that first gateway usually means they're not going for 2-gate, but no scout here yet from NbA. He can still go for the gas. It looks like that is what he is going to do, so he is going to scout after gas here. A little bit later scout, both are fine here. Just gives Dsaqwe a little bit of that scouting advantage, but it looks like he is going to go in the wrong direction, while NbA is going to go in the correct direction, so... or maybe not.
Or
okay.
is he?
No, they're both going to go scout the wrong direction first. We'll see if the probes meet and maybe turn around here a little bit, but... no, both players going to scout the other player last, so... no big advantage here on the scouting for either side.
Yeah, but with both players going for a gas opening here, it also doesn't play a huge role. Sure, maybe it could happen that there's one Zealot out if one player decides to go, yeah, as we see here, Dsaqwe going for Zealot before core, NbA going for Zealot after core. Both Zealots will be out, but I think this opening here on Ascension is big enough that a probe can still fit through one Zealot.
Yeah, definitely. Now we'll see here. Probe from Dsaqwe is getting pretty close there. One Zealot. Now, if it's micro correctly and they're not watching the probe, that could still be stopped. There's a quick little flick micro kind of trick you can do, but it does look like Dsaqwe will get in here, be able to scout around, be happy to see that this is just a core here. Now, will NbA be able to get in? Yes. Alright, he will sneak in. Wasn't quite on top of it from Dsaqwe, so NbA also gets in, and we'll see nothing too out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I was a little bit unsure there when NbA went up to the Zealot and then turned around. I was like, wait, am I wrong? Can the probe not fit here? Do I even know this game? But then he turned around and went through.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we do have a second Zealot that came out from Dsaqwe once again. So maybe this could have to do with the map, or it could be he just likes to go like Zealot core Zealot, which of course slows down your tech a little bit, but allows you to be safer against things like 2-gate and defend it a little bit easier, just having that second Zealot out. So it does allow NbA to get a little bit more scouting, a little bit quicker tech, but I don't think that's going to necessarily be the determining factor here.
Yeah, he did start the second Zealot before his probe scouted NbA's main base, so I'm sure it was just like a safety thing because he didn't know what NbA was going for.
Well, second gate now coming out from NbA. See what the tech decision here is for Dsaqwe. Yeah, I'm not sure what that building is right there that he started. Some kind of tech. Okay, it is a robo. So it looks like 1-gate robo here for Dsaqwe, but 3-gate right away for NbA. So this is kind of what we were saying at the beginning. You can kind of maybe try and go for something like this. Now, if Dsaqwe stays only on 1-gate, okay, he does have the second gate. I was going to say, if he stays on 1-gate here, and then like moves out or tries to take his natural, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. You can defend this with 2-gate and Reavers, but he is going to have to kind of defend, hold his choke there for a little bit. He doesn't want to lose any Dragoons early on in any kind of skirmishes here. He's going to need every unit he can to defend.
Yes. And I have 2 questions about this situation here that Dsaqwe can answer to us. First, will he go for Reaver immediately, or will he go for Observers? If he goes for Observers, this doesn't really help him defend against NbA's units, so I hope for him that he goes fast Reaver. And the second question, will he go out of his main? Because I see a lot of Protosses, they go out of their main, before they are actually safe with the Reaver. And if that happens against the 3-gate, you're just dead.
Yeah, well, he did go out a little bit, but has returned back now. Is going for the Observer, so this is still can be kind of dicey here. Now, we do have NbA coming out here, taking a little bit of position. This isn't necessarily telling that there's a 3-gate out here just yet, but once he sees the number of Dragoons that are coming in here, he should stay behind. Like, as long as he stays back here. Oh, okay, this is kind of cool. He's going to start killing off these pigs just to give himself some more room to try and bust in here. We'll see if he can do it. I mean, this could come down to a little bit of micro. First Observer's out. We should see that Reaver starting immediately. Like, Dsaqwe needs that Reaver if he wants to be able to hold on.
Yeah, but since he is in his main and there is still, even without the eggs, there is still a little show there, I think he could defend it. At least if he puts probes immediately once NbA really commits here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Now, is NbA even going to bring any more units? He's got a nice little concave here, so going to just contain Dsaqwe for the moment. Once that Reaver's out, he should be fine. So Reaver a little over half done. Doesn't look like NbA is really going to commit too hard to this. He is sending some more Dragoons across, but by the time they get there, this Reaver is going to be out. So it does feel like Dsaqwe has kind of held this position, and now he's going to have that tech advantage. So we'll see if he can use it for maybe a little bit later of a push here with a couple of Reavers.
Yeah, Dsaqwe was definitely safe here, but there's still the task to go out of your main base without like losing your Reavers, losing too many units. And this situation is also very difficult for NbA because you kind of want to contain your opponent, but with the Reaver there, you can't stay too close to the choke. And we see NbA moves back here, but if you move back too far, then all the units from Dsaqwe can just stream out of his main, and then you can't contain him anymore because you can't fight against the Reaver. So this is a very difficult situation here, very dangerous for both players.
Yeah, a little bit late second Reaver starting there from Dsaqwe. I would have liked to see that on the way a little bit quicker here, because he could have potential for, like, once he's able to bust out of here, once he gets that Reaver, or 2 Reavers and a shuttle, he has the potential to maybe put on some counter pressure because the opponent's not going to really have any Reavers or splash damage. And that's something you'll see a lot, right? Like, once they break out with Reavers and your opponent doesn't have any, you go across the map and get some counter damage done. But we'll see. So far, NbA has been able to kind of hold this contained. Dsaqwe hasn't broke out. Behind this, of course, NbA is going to expand. Now, we do have the breakout coming from Dsaqwe. Yeah, NbA smartly just going to back out. He knows he can't really take this fight head on. He can kind of fight from the high ground here, see if he can't do some little bit of extra damage. Oh, 1 Dragoon, okay. But he is going to back out, doesn't really want to take a full-on engage with some Reavers in the mix.
And now what's the plan for Dsaqwe here? So he has this Reaver advantage, and if you fight just head-on, the player with Reavers is usually stronger, especially if he has a good enough like shuttle micro. But the Reaver-less player can also often like outposition the Reaver player or flanking the Reaver army because he has more goons. But this requires a lot of vision for the non-Reaver player. So NbA here, if he wants to engage this Reaver army and win the fight, I think he needs good vision, and so far I don't really see a vision. I mean, there was a probe there, but no observer, so I think it's very hard for NbA to really fight this Reaver army. But of course, as we can see, he can hold this high ground here.
Yeah, and I think he is going to have to try and take an advantage of some of the terrains here. Like, yes, he may have a few extra Dragoons, but these Reavers more than negate that, right? Like, okay, he is going to be able to position behind this low ground. So I think with this high ground and low ground, he's not going to be able to get any damage, but Dsaqwe is going to be able to fly in here now with these Reavers. We'll see if he can get any probe kills or how much damage. Reavers are getting dropped. Will he get any damage done? First Scarab goes off. Looks like it's going to be a dud. A bit unfortunate for him there, but he does force a pull, a little bit of lost body time, so it was not for nothing, at least that he gets out with those Reavers.
Yeah, NbA trying to catch the shuttle here, but the shuttle will probably be fast enough. It will be pretty close there at the bottom, but yeah, okay, the shuttle barely gets away. DT on the map now for Dsaqwe. So yes, he did go for DTs in the 3rd game in a row, but a little bit of a different opening this time.
Yeah, now we do have NbA trying to push in here. Not the best idea with a couple of Reavers here. Yeah, just gonna pull back when he sees the Reavers are in position. But will these DTs get some damage done? The Observatory only just finished here for NbA. Observer hasn't started yet. This could be some game-ending damage here. Where is the Observer?
Yeah, I totally expected NbA to have an observer already, but yeah, he doesn't, and this is a big problem.
Yeah, he's just gonna lose all his probes here.
Oh yeah, he just starts the observers now. He just didn't start them, and now he just... Oh, he's losing so many probes. I don't know if he can recover from this.
Even if he gets the Observer out and kills the DT, sure, he's just gonna have lost way too many probes. Okay, Dsaqwe is no longer targeting the probes here. You really want to be killing all of the probes here, just as many as you can, okay? He is still continuing to kill them, but look at all the workers now. 20 worker difference, like he killed so many probes there. Still one DT alive. Now NbA will be able to clean this up, but what can he do now? Like, he's just so far behind economically. His army is still a little bit bigger, and so he's in a better position in that regard, maybe. But that's his only real advantage here. So if he doesn't do any major damage here to Dsaqwe with his army, it does feel like Dsaqwe is going to be able to run away with this game.
Yeah, Dsaqwe just needs to be in a good position with his army defensively here. Of course, if he just blindly goes up the high ground and then NbA's army is sitting there, maybe NbA can take a very good fight and win the game. But if Dsaqwe is really playing safe and is careful with his army, there should be no reason that he's not running away with this game.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It doesn't look like NbA wants to use his army here at all for any kind of attack. Maybe he was just waiting to clear up those DTs, get a couple more observers out. It is a very Dragoon heavy army. Okay, now he is going to start moving across the map, but of course Dragoons do take a lot of damage there from the Reavers. Another DT maybe sneaking in here though, coming up from the top from Dsaqwe. Oh, but it's going to run into the army looking at the map there. Okay, that's the observer actually, sorry. DT is at the third base, just preventing Dsaqwe from expanding. But yeah, it looks like NbA just kind of wants to roam, pick off what he can, and we'll get that observer, kind of deny some vision there, but you can still see he's still down like 13 probes here and 30 supply.
Yeah, and this decision of NbA to not go for a counterattack and try to look for some damage here, that is really interesting to me, because what I get from this is that NbA just thinks he's the better player, and even if he's taking some economic damage, he thinks he can just recover by playing a longer game and win it in the end. So this is a really strong statement of NbA, I want to say.
Yeah, well, we have a couple of Reavers flying in. There are some Dragoons and Cannons in position here, but we'll see. He does land out. Oh, nicely timed attack. He is going for the big engage while the Reavers are attacking to try and take away the attention here of NbA. Hopefully not notice those Reavers being microed back at home. Looks like he is going to get a lot of kills with those Reavers, but the Zealots moving on top of these Dragoons. The army is so much bigger here for Dsaqwe, kind of pushing back the army here of NbA while doing critical economic damage. So nice amount of multitasking coming out here from Dsaqwe. Going to get on top of this army. NbA trying to take that high ground position. There's just so many Zealots here getting so much damage. And yeah, GG is called. All right, Dsaqwe taking game number 2 and taking a 2-1 lead in the series.
GG. Storm was barely not ready there in the end. Maybe could have won the fight with Storm, all the Zealots, but it wasn't ready, and Dsaqwe takes it. So yeah, pretty crazy games. I don't think we had like one completely normal like Goon Reaver versus Goon Reaver, this bread and butter PvP. We didn't have a single one of those, so very interesting best of 5 here.
Yeah, it's also been very back and forth so far, right? It's been like Dsaqwe, NbA, Dsaqwe. So NbA's turn to win this one? Let's hope so we can get a game 5, right?
Yeah, for sure. Let's find out.
All right. Well, first we need to see what map these players will be playing on. Looks like it will be Butter, so another 2-player map, another low ground map. Kind of like Ascension was low ground there. So again, aggressive strategies can kind of pay off here. So maybe we'll see once again some kind of a 3-game play coming out from one of these players. Rush to DTs. There is lots of different high grounds, lots of different paths. Armies can miss each other. So we'll see if that comes into play here on this map.
Yeah, maybe we'll see another like counter attack into a natural on this map, but let's find out in game 4. Let's go. And here we are in the top right of Butter. We have our red product spawning. It is NbA.
Alright, and in the bottom right, one game away from advancing to the finals, it is our blue Protoss Dsaqwe.
Okay, and also no real cheese so far. I mean, we saw several, like 2 gates, we saw like a 3-gate goon, but it was not like completely all in with probe cuts and everything. And we have not seen a proxy so far, so is there... Like, are other players just comfortable playing safe and they think they are just playing better when they play a safe game, or are they not brave enough? What do you think?
Maybe a bit of both. I mean, maybe both players think, I don't want to risk the proxy for a loss or something. I'm just comfortable playing straight up standard. I feel like that's probably the case here. Now, we have seen NbA play quite proxy aware in the fact that he likes to go for 2-gate on these 2-player maps here in low ground, so I would very much expect to see him go 2-gate here once again. Dsaqwe has definitely mixed it up. We like to see, I think he prefers going maybe 1-gate and just building that extra zealot in case it is a 2-gate. But he is going to send out that early scout and going to be able to scout NbA first, of course, being a 2-player map. So we'll have vision of what NbA wants to do here quite quickly.
NbA will go for the 2-gate once again. So we saw that multiple times also in last week. And he really likes his opening, but I feel he makes it in case his opponent goes for like a 2-gate rush. He never really commits into 5 zealots or so. It always looks like once he scouts his opponent and the opponent is not cheesing, he will immediately get his own gas and transition out of this.
Yeah, I agree. We've even seen him cut a couple of zealots doing this, right? Like, I've seen him go just 1 zealot or even 0 zealots. I think last game when he went 2-gate, he even only got 2 zealots. So, yeah, we do have a probe fight. Oh, Dsaqwe managing to pick off a probe of NbA. Not what you really want to see early on. Nice little kill there for Dsaqwe. Just going to kind of harm the economy and get in the head maybe a little bit of NbA losing that probe early.
We see 1 probe mining in Dsaqwe's base here, 1 probe mining the gas. That's also a pretty interesting situation. What does this mean? I mean, his minerals are going up to 300 here.
I guess it's because he's just making more zealots than dragoons, right? Like, you can see he's even queued 1 up. So once again, we're going to see he sees the 2-gate, right? So he's respecting the 2-gate by saying, I'm just going to keep making zealots for my 1-gate, right? Like, he's even built a battery out front, and he hasn't started a cybernetics core. So he's just like, okay, you're committing going 2-gate, I'm just going to get extra zealots and only going to put 1 probe on gas here because I don't need that much gas if I'm not going to be teching right away.
And this second zealot barely too late to block off the choke, so the 1 zealot of NbA gets in, can maybe look for some probe kills. 2 more zealots are coming, don't forget that.
Yeah, but this does look like it's going to be held here from Dsaqwe, and once again going to have that earlier tech advantage and even a little bit of a probe advantage here, right? We see NbA cut a couple of probes, so if he can't get any probe kills, like, all of a sudden you're going to say this is kind of favoring Dsaqwe. Now a couple more zealots are coming in. We'll see how the micro control is, but we got to remember Dsaqwe does have the battery. It's a little far out of position to defend deep in his main here, but if he needs it, he can always run over and use it.
Yeah, so he's running around here. No player really wants to commit, both players just avoiding. Okay, NbA gets the first hits on that first zealot, but that his own first zealot was damaged before, so he can't really win a fight here. He can just buy some time, run around, maybe get a probe here.
Oh, nice drill from Dsaqwe, gonna mess up a couple of these zealots. Okay, he did manage to pick off 1 of the probes, but 1 of the zealots does go down here. Probe chasing a probe. Doesn't look like there's any more units streaming in from NbA, so these 3... Okay, as I say that, looks like a couple more units leaving the base there. But it does feel like Dsaqwe's pretty much held. He's not really going to take any more damage. Maybe another probe or 2. Can NbA snipe another probe? Looks like he'll get at least 1 more there. Maybe a second? No, he will not. So only 2 probe kills for 3 zealots. It definitely feels like Dsaqwe's got the advantage now.
Yes, I think it was a good defense, but I also think that the Dsaqwe didn't continuously build probes here because we have the same number of probes now. I almost expected the Dsaqwe to be ahead because he was ahead 2 probes before this. Oh, this goon is very important. Remember, NbA still has the double gates. I mean, yes, he lost 3 zealots, but if he has the goon advantage, he can out-micro the zealots. He can focus the goons off the Dsaqwe and then out-micro the zealots. That's very possible.
Well, it does look like Dsaqwe manages to save that goon, charging it up on his battery there as well. Both players going for a robo follow-up here, but again, it's just like Dsaqwe's just slightly ahead because of the opening here in his tech, in his additional units. Like, I don't know if NbA is really going to be able to find much damage.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like that's the case, especially with the shield battery. As long as the Dsaqwe stays in his main base, there's no damage to be done for NbA. So what matters here are the transitions from these players. So we saw both players with the robotics after 2 gate, and here we see robotics and observatory for the Dsaqwe. What is the tech here for NbA? So will he go for observers? Will he go for reavers? It looks like he wants to go for an expansion.
Does feel like he has to do something, right? Like, because Dsaqwe is just slightly ahead in everything, what is the plan from NbA, right? What is he gonna do? How does he come back in this game, right? Like, surely he knows after that opening he's probably a little bit behind. Not unplayable from behind, but he's got to figure out some way that he can maybe try and make that advantage back up. So far, he's just gonna go observers, play it safe here. I don't know what the game plan is yet, but we already have the first observer out from Dsaqwe, so you can see how this is transitioned, right? Like, Dsaqwe's just a little bit ahead in everything. What is the play from NbA?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's not going for reavers, so he has only the observatory. He also did not add a 3rd gate, so he's not trying to catch up in the unit count. And so far, he has not put down a nexus. So far, there's no real decision by NbA. He's just on the same units. Okay, now we saw the robotic support base, so he will go for the reavers. But I think he just wants to scout the Dsaqwe with the observer first, and then do some real decisions on what to do.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Now Dsaqwe did take his natural, so he's going to have that mining up ahead of time here. He's going to have more units out. First Reaver already out here for Dsaqwe as well. It's just, I feel like NbA's maybe got to go for some kind of harass, right? Just find some way to even out this game a little bit. Maybe go for some kind of a Reaver drop here. Maybe get out 2 Reavers, go in with 1 in shuttle speed. We'll see what the plan is, but as it is, if it continues on like this, Dsaqwe is just going to have the advantage throughout this game.
Yeah, but I still think that NbA will not go for some risky harassment. Maybe he goes for speed shuttle and then goes for harassment, but so far, what I've seen from NbA, he's really conservative. He's really playing like passive macro economy style. He doesn't like to go for some risky strategies because I think that he thinks he's a better player. So he will just accept a small disadvantage and come back later in the game. I think that's really what his plan is.
All right, well, we'll see if it works out for him. Nice little observer dance here, as you can see. Dsaqwe trying to get in there with his observer, get some scouting done. NbA not really letting that happen, kind of pushing it back with his own observer and dragoons. So nice play there from NbA, kind of deny that scouting. It's very important. Now shuttle speed just about to finish up here from Dsaqwe, so we'll see if he wants to maybe go for a little bit of that harass or if he's just going to try and go for a push here. Shuttle is coming out, so we'll see now. Gonna load up those Reavers. I think he's gonna maybe try and go for a push. If he can't get it done, maybe try and get the Reaver. Okay, no, just 1 Reaver. So he's gonna go for that harass play, try and increase his advantage here a little bit more.
Yeah, and whenever you see a player going for a Reaver drop, it's also very important that that player has vision of where he wants to drop. And we see he has that observer. He can check, are there defending Dragoons? Is there a good spot to drop my Reaver so that the shuttle is not dying? These are some very important things that the dropping player has to consider. And yeah, he can see the army leaving, and this is a perfect situation for him.
Wow, that just as the army leaves, the shuttle's coming up here, so this is probably going to get a lot of damage done. Oh, I'm getting a bit worried for NbA. Nice scarabs already. First one killing a bunch of probes. Well, this one, another 2 probes going down. 13 worker at lead here for Dsaqwe. Shuttle is going to fly in here. Will he be able to pick up a few more? Some Dragoons have come back to deal with this. Oh, a few more probes. Will they go down? Oh, yes, a few more kills. Shuttle gets picked off as well, so the Reaver will go down in this base here. But, oh, that damage is just so much. Like, this is really feeling like a Dsaqwe favorite here.
Yeah, it's like 14 kills on that Reaver. 14, that's a huge amount. And also NbA sent back some units. He sent back like 6 Dragoons to defenses. So now he has this army out in the front that is a little bit smaller than what he has total. And there are 2 defending Reavers for the Dsaqwe. It's so hard to imagine that he can do some counter damage here.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna maybe try. I mean, he's positioning up, he's bringing the rest of his army down here, but if he can't get any real damage done, I feel like we're gonna get into a situation where he's just gonna lose the game here. Now the Reavers are out. Nice couple of scarabs here. Getting a lot of damage on those front Dragoons, and this is not a great position necessarily for Dsaqwe. We can see he built even a 3rd Reaver, taking this very seriously, but so far the engage has gone really well here for NbA. He's just got so many more units here. Is he gonna bust in? I think he will.
Yeah, wow, the Reavers of Dsaqwe didn't shoot for a long time, and now NbA just breaks through like this. Crazy.
Well, and he really needed that, right? Like, I feel like he's just about to win this game now. A couple of Dragoons maybe out of position there for Dsaqwe as well. Didn't have the greatest concave. Kind of attacked up into NbA, and now these 2 Reavers are gonna be able to fly into the main here. Dragoons are gonna be a pick off reinforcements. I feel like this is GG, right? Like, and this was really NbA's only option, and it worked for him. If he did not do this when he did this, Dsaqwe was just gonna get too far ahead, and now, yeah, even another Reaver crawling in from the back here. Dsaqwe not wanting to give this up, but so many probes going down, just no units for him. He's got nothing that can really save him. I don't know what the plan is here, but a bunch of Dragoons queued up. There's just nothing. There's no way these amount of Dragoons are going to be able to stop this. The reinforcing Dragoons, right?
Yeah, there's still this shuttle with a Reaver on the left side of the map, but yeah, it's not coming back to defend. So, GG from Dsaqwe. Crazy.
Yeah, all right, 2-2. So we do have a game 5 here. I really thought Dsaqwe was going to win that, but NbA, realizing his position, made a very nice move, went in for the kill, got some nice scarabs. No real concave or scarabs from Dsaqwe, and he was able to push through and take the game and force this game number 5 here. Who's going to take it?
I'm really not sure. Just a toss-up here. Like, I feel they are so close in skill, and we saw so many different things happen in these 4 games that I'm really not sure what to expect in game number 5.
Yeah, well, let's find out. At least see what the map is here. This has been a very back and forth series, right? Like, Dsaqwe, NbA, Dsaqwe, NbA. Maybe Dsaqwe takes it again to finish that out, but NbA can certainly take it. And we do have Monopoly here. Definitely a different kind of interesting map. What do you think about this for PvP?
Oh yeah, man, this is a very new map. The players will not have enough experience on this map, I believe. But we have talked about some situation here versus Terran, for example, that's this triangle path that you can see around the center of the map is pretty narrow, so I can totally see it being a factor in PvP as well. If you have a big army or just any army with Reavers, for example, I think it's very hard to really attack into someone if the defending player has vision and is prepared with his army position.
Yeah, I agree. So let's jump into the game, see what the players want to do here. Game number 5, do or die. Winner goes on to the finals. Who will it be?
Okay, game number 5 is starting here on Monopoly, and in the top left we have our blue Protoss. It is Dsaqwe.
Alright, and on the right we have our red Protoss. It is NbA. Now, just expanding a little bit on what you said, I definitely agree. You know, these narrow corridors do make like Reaver play and Storms way more effective, right? Because the units are just going to get clumped up. They're going to be, it's going to be harder to get those big, huge concaves if it goes on long enough, right? Like, you see in late PvPs, a lot of the times it comes down to who can get that better arc, that better concave spread of units. You can't really do that on this map, right? Like everything's just going to get bunched up in those corridors. So we'll have to see if the players want to kind of try and play around that. Maybe a bit more harassing, more splash damage mixed in. I'm really interested to see how this map plays out for these players.
Yeah, I think Storm shuttles are very strong on this map. Also, you did not mention, there is this center of the map, and that center of the map is a very big island. So shuttles help you take islands. So maybe we see a player getting that expansion in the middle. But with that being said, it's a very big island. So you cannot build cannons to cover all of the space there on that island. It's just too big.
Yeah, and I think some of the terrain is even maybe unbuildable there, but we do have 2-gate once again coming out from NbA. Pretty much, gotta say, almost like his standard opening here. Whereas Dsaqwe, once again, going for that 1-gate gas, is going to get in and see that this is 2-gate, so I will expect to see him maybe kind of cut his gas, get those zealots out so he doesn't take any big damage from some zealot rush.
And I'm pretty sure NbA should have seen this probe coming from the top, but it looks like he didn't pay attention, and he's scouting the bottom first, so he doesn't know what's up.
Or he didn't even scout the main base. Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah,
even scout the main base.
yeah, exactly. So, wow, it really looks like NbA. Maybe he didn't even play the map before. Maybe it was just a misclick. We don't know, but it could mean that he really didn't play a lot of games on this map.
Yeah, kind of a mistake there, you gotta say then, if he wasn't expecting a proxy in that exact location. Got a question. Okay, he is... Okay, I thought the probe was about to go and scout another potential proxy location, but no, he will scout around eventually. No, he does not go into the main right away, so he did scout another proxy location. Again, potentially a misclick from not knowing the map, or... I'm not sure. He will get here and see 2 zealots, so sorry, go ahead.
At this point, I'm sure it was not scouting for proxies, because why would you scout for proxies on the very left side of the base, of the map? It makes no sense. Like, if your base is on the very right, the opponent will not build a proxy on the very left of the map. That must have been a misclick.
Yeah, well, we have 3 zealots out here from Dsaqwe, and seeing that NbA is actually just going to turn around with his own zealots, saying, I know I'm not going to get any damage done here. So once again, Dsaqwe is just going to have that little bit of a tech advantage here. It just feels like his build kind of counters what NbA is trying to do every time, right? Like, just gets that little bit of early lead, and sometimes that plays out to his advantage and he gets the win off that, so we'll see.
Yeah, if you just make 3 zealots against a player going for 2 gates, usually you are at an advantage. And maybe he even looked at some replays. You mentioned it in the beginning of the stream today. NbA did play a PvP in the last round, so Dsaqwe was able to study a lot of PvP games of NbA. So maybe he saw NbA likes to go 2-gate, and he prepared this counter specifically for him. Yeah,
that very well could be. Now we do have this one Dragoon coming out. Will he get it caught here? Oh no, no firing coming out from NbA. He could have definitely got a few shots, still nothing going on here. He's just trying to catch this Dragoon and cut it off. Will he be able to get it? I don't think so. It feels like Dsaqwe is going to be able to get back into his base and up his ramp here. So not going to lose that Dragoon. Very important here early on.
Yeah, and of course Dsaqwe is still totally safe with that 3 zealots here. Will stay in his main base, and he's playing the same strategy again, Dsaqwe is, with the 2-gate, so fast 2nd gate after the initial opening, and then a robotics. He did play the same on the last 2 maps, I think.
Yeah, now one interesting thing to see here that was just pointed out is the fact that NbA delayed his range a lot for a faster robo. So we'll see what he wants to go for with this. Like, is he going to go for a faster Reaver push or something? He did start range later. Like, the range for Dsaqwe now is done, but the range for NbA is still a long ways to go. So his robo's going to be later. It does feel like this should be for some kind of a Reaver push, right? Okay, he's going to go for those observers right away and a Nexus instead. So he just wants to kind of get an expansion up. Maybe still get his Reavers out a little bit quicker.
Yeah, so Dsaqwe is not getting any advantage from the delayed range of NbA. So this should favor NbA a little bit with the faster Nexus and the faster robotics. I think the opening now is slightly ahead for NbA here.
We actually see a lot of Zealots being produced too on Dsaqwe's side. I don't know what this is all about. Like, he's not getting speed or anything. We see 5 Zealots here and 2 more on the way. Maybe we now... I think I know. I saw only 2 probes on gas earlier, so maybe a bit of mistake here from Dsaqwe, right? He wasn't fully mining that gas, so he could only afford these Zealots, so... that's kind of why his robo maybe is a little bit later and everything. I don't know how long he only had 2 probes on gas, but definitely hurting him here. So we'll see if NbA can take advantage of this fact and bring this game home.
Yeah, if you go for Observers and Reaver, that costs a lot of gas. And even if you mine gas normally, if you really want to go for quick Observer and Reaver, sometimes you even have to skip a Goon and build an extra Zealot. But yeah, if you're mining only with 2 probes, is really a big delay here for his tech.
Yeah, once again, we do see shuttle speed coming in for Dsaqwe, so maybe playing somewhat of a similar strategy to last game, but it's just going to be a little bit delayed, right? Since he was mining that gas so much later, his shuttle speed's going to be later, his reavers are going to be a little bit later. Maybe wanting to get some harassment done, but we'll see if he can do anything. I mean, I'm really liking NbA's position here so far. He's going to have that, he has that faster Nexus, just a little bit faster tech. So what does Dsaqwe do from here? I feel like the shuttle speed is a good choice because he needs to get something done.
Yeah, I agree. Of course, he's slightly behind and he likes to do this. We saw it in the last game or on the Ascension game. So I'm sure he will go for some Reaver harass here. But also, if you look at the workers, it's even. Dsaqwe also has his Nexus up now, so I don't think like NbA is far ahead. I think you can just play this game out normally without any risks, and it will be fine in the late game, and the difference will not be that important anymore.
Yeah, well, we can see NbA kind of expecting maybe some drops or something, positioning a lot of his Dragoons in that mineral line, maybe because he saw that Observer fly over. Maybe he's just expecting it around this time, but as we know, Dsaqwe is a little bit behind where he would normally want to be because of that gas. Now, did NbA even produce any Reavers? He's had that robotic... Okay, there is one Reaver there. Just didn't know, so I'm like, is he even producing Reavers? I feel like he's had that support bay for a while and just hasn't produced, but he does have his first Reaver, second one on the way, so he will get out to that Reaver Dragoon kind of army composition here as well.
And we also have observers around the opponent's base for both players here. We saw this play a big role in the last game on Butter, where the Dsaqwe's observer saw the army of NbA leaving, and he was able to get a wonderful Reaver drop in. Here he has that observer again, and he could also see this army leaving once again. But so far we don't have a shuttle.
Yeah, supplies and worker count just neck and neck here, so maybe that evened it out. NbA's army might be a little bit more gas heavy, but otherwise, like, very even looking game here so far. And it looks like Dsaqwe is the first one to kind of want to push out a bit on the map. But of course, without that shuttle, can't really move too far with those slow crawling Reavers.
Yeah, but apart from that, like, everything is super equal here. We see the worker count, we see the supply is like that even here. I think we could really see another like very late game, like game 1.
Yeah, and that would be a great way to finish off this series, right? Being tied 2-2 going into like an epic game, and maybe that's on the mindset of both players here. Like, okay, this is game 5, it's do or die. They just want to both play their solid strategies. They don't want to make any like silly mistakes, take any big risks here, and lose the game that way. So very nice play from both players. Now the shuttle is out. We do, of course, have shuttle speed. We'll see if Dsaqwe wants to try and go in and get some harass done, or maybe try and do some kind of a push, but I don't think he's going to be able to really break anywhere of NbA.
Last game on Butter, we saw him going for the Reaver drop, but then NbA attacked him, and he had 3 Reavers, which is usually pretty good as a defense, but he didn't have a shuttle defending, so maybe he's a little bit more careful and doesn't want to fly out the shuttle before he's very sure that he can defend any attacks that NbA could be throwing at him.
Yeah, and also he does have a much better position, you know, being out from his choke. He's not all bunched up. He's got a little bit more wider of an arc here. Now, there is a shuttle out for NbA. I don't know if that Dragoon of the Dsaqwe kind of scouted or saw that. We'll see where that shuttle goes if and or when it wants to move up towards the main, get some harass done. There's only one cannon there. No real Dragoons for defense, so potentially this could get some done. Now, is this Dragoon? Oh, he's going to send it back. Now, does the Dragoon see it? No, just misses. Wow, that was very close. But does get out of the vision, so it doesn't look like NbA is going to commit to that harass at this moment.
And okay, this observer died. And this... Okay, never mind. I just want to say he didn't scout the expansion, but I guess now the Goon did scout it, so... He knows NbA is going for a third base, and yeah, his reaction is going for a third base himself. So far, both players very passive, going for that late game.
Yeah, very mirrored situation. Maybe both players feeling like they can hold their own here in the late game. Dsaqwe going to be taking the base on the high ground, whereas NbA is taking that low ground base. We'll see if that comes in factor. Of course, it's going to be harder to kind of push up onto that high ground, but the low ground base may be a little bit closer to reinforce. Now, it does look like Dsaqwe wants to reposition his army. He's going to move down the map. Oh, shuttle flying in here as well. We'll see if he can get anything done. No cannons or units in position here. Both Reavers dropped out. Oh my... Oh, those first scarabs could have been so much nicer. He was targeting that cannon down. Doesn't look like he's going to get that many probes. There's no real reaction, no probe pull here yet. But units coming in, but Dsaqwe doing a little bit of micro. It's going to kill a couple of these units off. Now he's actually going to lose one of those Reavers, both of those Reavers, but here we have an engage at the bottom of the map as well. Dsaqwe using that distraction to kind of move in here, but it looks like there's more than enough for him from NbA to push this back, even especially with his own storm here. So Dsaqwe not really getting as much done as he wanted here. I'm not sure if that was really worth it for him.
I guess overall it was about even. It looked very weird, like he was not targeting the probes, but NbA was also not pulling them away. It's super weird. This attack, however, now that NbA thought he's safe, moves out of position, and Dsaqwe comes in, kills off the Nexus, and gets out with most of his army. This was a very nice attack now from Dsaqwe.
Yeah, maybe giving him a little bit of advantage there. Nice quick Nexus snipe and retreat. Not losing too many units. Oh, a few more units are going to get drawn in there. Now, he did lose a few, so the army of NbA is slightly bigger, but not big enough that I feel like he can just walk across the map and kill Dsaqwe at this moment.
I mean, I'm not so sure. We saw it last time, what he can do with a Shuttle and Reaver. Even against 3 defending Reavers, he was able to kill Dsaqwe, and this time, he not only has that Shuttle Reaver, he also has some Storms. On the other side, Dsaqwe does not have defensive Storms so far.
This is about to get super base trady. Look at this.
Yeah.
Dsaqwe's army on the bottom of the map, NbA's on the top. Dsaqwe going for that third base, NbA going for the natural here. this almost looks like we could have like an elimination race kind of situation. Will that happen now? I'm not sure. Okay, now Dsaqwe splitting up some of his army. I'm not sure about this. It looks like he wanted to send some back to save. Yeah, now he's going to just commit, it looks like his full army into the natural, so a couple of Reavers coming out here. If this gets into kind of a base trady, base race situation, which it looks like it's going to, I do kind of maybe favor Dsaqwe, but there's DDs here and no observer.
Oh.
No observer,
No
these two
observer
DDs are going to
here.
do so much damage. Where's the nearest observer? Oh, I was about to favor Dsaqwe, but now things are looking maybe good here for NbA. Observer comes in, but that's not Dsaqwe's, it's NbA, so he does kill the Nexus, and now he's going to retreat. But is this too late? The damage is being dealt. NbA only has 7 probes, though. What is going on?
Oh man, it surely looks like NbA can kill off the main base of Dsaqwe while he will defend his own main base. So on paper it looks like NbA should win this, right? I mean, it comes down to micro as well now. Will NbA allow the retreating units of Dsaqwe up the ramp or not?
Well, he's got the position to keep him down there, and where are the obs? There's still no obs out here for Dsaqwe. Right? Like, where are the observers? He didn't even produce any, or did they just get picked off? Like, is NbA just gonna kill the Robo and the observatory before any observers can get out onto the map here for Dsaqwe?
Yeah, I think so. The Dunes and Observers of NbA went up the ramp immediately in the Dsaqwe's base and were surrounding the botics. So even if the Dsaqwe pulled some observers, they got kicked off.
One probe. There's one probe remaining here for NbA. The DT's chasing it down.
Oh.
Okay, a second probe gets made, but still. So if Dsaqwe can somehow hold onto this base, there's just no mining for NbA.
Oh, but look at all the probes in the top left. He's not pulling them away. Like, so many
He's just
probes.
gonna leave them?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, at that point they are not enough to get out. So, wow, we have like one base with around maybe 15 probes mining for Dsaqwe, and we have no mining for NbA. Somehow he has 3 probes again. He probably rebuilt some in his main nexus.
This is wild. Oh, I thought he was about to drop a probe in the middle.
Oh, there's the observer.
Dsaqwe did get an observer out. Oh, and the whole army of NbA is on the wrong side of the map, though.
Oh,
like,
man.
Can't Dsaqwe just like pick off the nexus or all the probes, and then NbA doesn't have money to rebuild it, right? And then he just has to defend.
It's so important that Dsaqwe doesn't let NbA get up the ramp. He just needs to hold the ramp here. Oh, but now the flank of NbA with the DTs here. And it looks like... Where's the observer of NbA? The CT is blocking on the ramp. Okay, now observers arrive. But yeah, Dsaqwe is doing a good job using his high ground advantage here with the goons at that Archon. In the end, NbA will be able to defend this, but it was a very good trade for Dsaqwe.
That was crazy. There's one probe though alive. He does get picked off. 0 probes. Now he does have minerals to start producing more, and he is going to clean up this army. But can you come back from 0 probes here? Like, Dsaqwe barely has any base. He has no gateways. All he can produce right now are reavers. He's building like looks like gateways at random locations on the map here. Okay, cannons up the ramp there. I don't know what's at the top. Is that like a gateway or is that just random pylons there? Like around 12 o'clock-ish. Oh no, just a couple of buildings. Like, oh, I feel like Dsaqwe probably wins this right. Like, there's just no mining, no probes for NbA.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, Dsaqwe is mining. He has a good income. He just needs to make mass cannons on the ramp, and he's doing exactly that at the very bottom end. NbA cannot build more army at this point because he has pretty much no mining, and even if he has some probes, his main base is outmined soon. So this army is all that NbA will get, and if Dsaqwe just has enough cannons, that army will die, and the game will be over.
Yeah, we can see Reaver up there to help defend, but Reaver flying in here from Dsaqwe. He's gonna kill the rest of these probes. Oh no. 1 probe left for NbA and 70 minerals, so he can still build another probe, but yeah, he's going up here. He feels like this is do or die. There's just too many cannons, plus the Reaver up here. I don't think he's gonna be able to get up here. Dsaqwe pulling some probes to kind of body block here, get as much damage and value out of these cannons as he can, and yeah. With that, I feel like NbA can't win. Yeah, GG is called. Wow,
GG.
What a final game between these two. That was crazy.
Yeah, wow, man. What a last game in this best of 5 semifinals here. This is really amazing. And wow, just awesome game. And I'm sure all the viewers love this series.
Yeah, but Dsaqwe in the end takes it down. So congratulations to him. He will move on to the finals. That will be either against Dragon or Mars, which we will find out here in a few minutes, right?
Yeah, will we see another PvP or a PvT in the finals? We will find out soon, the second semifinals.